touch that dial. It's lunchtime on Midday Gospel Praise.
Good afternoon. It's Midday Gospel Praise, and I am Anita Dean Arnette, the boss lady of gospel. We're serving up some great gospel music today. And, you know, I always try to keep you informed as to what's going on in and around the city, making connections every day. And today I'm honored and proud to have as my guest, live studio guest. In the studios with me, none other than Mr. Leo Rucker, and I'm sure everybody in Winston-Salem has heard that name one time or another. Good afternoon, Mr. Rucker. How are you today?
Awesome. Good afternoon, Anita. How are you doing today?
I'm well. I just wanted to reach out to you and just say publicly, we thank you for all that you do in the community.
Well, it is my pleasure to be able to color the world in a brushstroke, and especially here in our community.
Amen. Amen. Now, I know people have seen you in and around the city painting, and you do so many things. And I first heard about you, of course, through Sabrina Wingo at Taste of the Triad, because you're all over Taste of the Triad. But we certainly know you for so many things. We saw you a couple of weeks ago at the awards banquet downtown. And so tell me who Leo Rucker is.
Wow. Well, you know, for Leo Rucker, definitely, I will say for myself, and not being arrogant, just a phenomenal artist who is passionate about creativity and bringing, you know, color and brightness to the world in a brushstroke. And so that could be on any surface, whether it's on a wall, on a canvas, on a piece of wood, or any construction type of paper. And so God has truly blessed me and allowed me to have the opportunity to share this gift with the world.
Amen. Now, how long have you been doing this? I know you're a graduate of East Forsyth High School, and our little grandson is going there now. So we said to give a big shout out to East Forsyth.
Go Eagles.
Eagles, go Eagles. All right. I'm going to have to be cheering for the Eagles now. Awesome. But how long have you been doing this?
So I've been painting on a very serious base and drawings for the last 30 years. And so it really got my root in the community back in 1998 through a friend. Actually, it's before then. Actually, it was through the Arts Council in 1995 to participate in what they had back in the day was called Artiva, which was a program for summer kids to learn about different aspects of the art and business, and that they could work with a professional, you know, in an organization and learn how the business work in the creative world.
Now, where do you get your ideas from? Do you lay awake at night and just come up with these ideas, or do you paint in your sleep?
I probably do. Yeah.
I'm probably sure you do.
One eye open, one eye closed, and the other one eye is keeping up with the brain, while the other eye trying to get some rest. And as I get always say, make sure you get some rest because you work all the time. And so, you know, but you know, when you love what you do, you know, and just being realistically, you know, I average about, 5-6 hours of sleep. And that's traditionally because over time period, even in my generation of family, most of my men that I knew of, 5 hours of sleep, and you was up at the crack of dawn, whether you was working on the farm or whether you was going to work. So my work now has become my gift, and that's how I function, with that talent as well.
And of course, it is a gift. What is your mission? What is the message that you're trying to get out to the community? I see you everywhere, and I see your work everywhere. Right now, we're going to talk about what you're doing right now.
Yes.
But what is your mission? What are you trying to say?
So my mission is to really allow people to understand that art is a vibrant, everyday element of who they are and who we are, and that form and fashion fits within whether you're wearing a piece of clothing, an earring, glasses, as well as art that's in public places on the outside or even in galleries and stuff. So art is a everyday function of who we are as human beings, because we utilize that in order to market ourselves, in order to, convey a message, to people who understand or don't understand who we are through words or even through, again, like creativity and what I do.
Amen. every piece has a message in it. I see that. Talk about what you're doing right now, but everything I have seen, your work,
yes, ma'am,
there's a message.
There's
a message.
And most of my art lately has been tied around history and the preserving history elements of our community, or even just things around the world that's irrelevant to, people in parts of the world and elements that have paved the pathway for another generation. And so I use art in order to preserve that and share that and encourage and then motivate people, to always think, that they can achieve and be their best self, utilizing creativity. You might struggle in some parts, and that's just life in general, but if you keep at it, as most people, like you say, see me all the time doing something, I love, with a crazy passion what I do. And I might get tired, and my body will say, "Okay, Leo, it's time to go rest."
Yeah.
I will paint up until the rain comes. Like last night, the thunderstorm was way back in the distance, but I was like trying to get that last stroke in before I had to clean up and take it in. So it's just what you love, you give it your all. And you think about all the greatest athletes and the greatest people in business, they will tell you that they work, resentfully at what they do, but also with a purpose and with a mission. And so every day I paint something, there's a mission behind how I paint and why I paint. And I've had the chance, especially with this particular current project called a community mural down on Broad Street, I've had a chance to really interact with so many different people from 12 years old or even 5 years old all the way up to 88 years old who have this is really just makes my day. and you don't know how much, and they don't realize how much that really lets me know that you are an intricate part of who and what the community is. And now they'll go and tell the rest of the world or their friends when they come visiting for football games, concerts, or just any kind of event. Man, you got to go by Broad Street and check out this cool. It's colorful. It just pops out and jumps out at you, and you just got to stop. You can't even, and people that don't even speak my language stops by, and I have to try to figure out what they're saying.
Yeah.
But you see the smile and the brightness in their eyes, and you know that they really are enjoying what you're bringing to life.
Amen. And we're talking about the mural on Broad Street right there on the corner. And every time we go by, we're blowing it. I know he's busy at work. But it is history in the making. And so we won't forget. So many times we forget about the people that have paved our way and
Amen.
People that have done great things here in the city. We sometimes forget. So it's a friendly reminder. And it's colorful. And I'm peeping every time we go by to see what I see that we recognize and see how the story is. It's almost like reading a book. We're looking at really a story.
Is. Yes, ma'am. Absolutely. And that was the intent. But also the intent was show diversity within our community. But like you said, for me, everything I do has a message and a story. So I always want to engage people. And so now that this is public art, not in a gallery, now you have to take time to pull over. Hopefully you don't run in the back of nobody, or nobody don't run in the back of you, because you're trying to look and see what you didn't see the previous day when you drove by.
Right.
Pull over and really take a moment to just engage with the piece and make it become a part of you. And that's the most amazing thing that has, again, inspired me to continue to push at what I do, because people now are making this mural what it is called, community mural. And now they make it a part of their, whether they're walking their dog, driving by, scootering by, or whatever, that is now has become their mural. And the owners of Quality Mart, their purpose is being achieved through this mural.
Amen. And I'm sure they're getting a lot of traffic on that corner.
Oh, absolutely.
But it is so important that we know our community, know what's going on in our community. And it's such a pleasant sight to see. It's very colorful on the corner of Broad, and I'm not sure what street that. Fifth Street.
Yes,
okay. So we invite you to come by, but not only that, go by Taste of the Triad, go by any part in the city, and you can see his work. He's been doing this for a very, very long time. And I think you said something a few minutes ago, Leo, the longer you do things, anytime you do anything with love, like I've been in radio forever, but it's something that we do. It's a passion.
It's a passion.
And it's not a job.
It's
a ministry. And I want to say that that's a ministry.
It is
to
a
you.
ministry.
It's a ministry.
Because I get to witness to people.
I know you do. Every time they stop by, somebody has a message and they can see something. So that's why I wanted to bring you here today. And I guess you wonder, why Boss Lady want to interview me? But I try to keep people informed as to what's going on in the community.
Thank you.
And you are definitely a part of the painting that you did at the awards ceremony was absolutely breathtaking. Everything that I've seen you do is breathtaking. Do you get people calling you to do portraits, self-portraits, and everything?
Everything, I even
babies,
did babies, especially their babies. Got to preserve their babies. When they're at the most, elegant point of being a child and the precious moment in their lives that they want to capture and remember. Of course, one of the famous pieces that I always remind people of, and you don't get to see it publicly unless you unfortunately going into the courthouse for a purpose. You get to see the recent Judge Hartsfield portrait that I did, but also the icon Judge oh my goodness, I can't think of Judge. Not Hayes, but Judge Hayes. I'm sorry, Judge Hayes. He was the first African American, judicial judge, that represented Winston Salem, and I got a chance 20 years ago to paint his portrait, and then now I've just finished this first female. So,
amen.
What an honor and what a pleasure to be able to capture those individuals, which are a part of our history, like we've continued to talk about, and preserve that as well. And now when people go in, they remember how these individuals, good or bad.
Yeah, yes, right.
They realize that these individuals help them, take a direction, in their lives or change their direction in their lives. And that's what I hope to do and continue to do, as long as I'm able to utilize my hands and my eyes, as God allows that to go forward.
Amen. Well, it has been a pleasure to have you here with us live.
Thank you.
In the Light Studios. As always, we wish you the best. We invite everybody to go by.
Please do.
5th and Broad Street. Just go by and blow your horn, wave your hand. And, if you stop, if you're walking, stop by. Don't get in no accident, as Leo said. But it's a beautiful, colorful sight. We say, would there's anybody you'd like to give a shout out? Your family, your wife, your beautiful
absolutely.
wife?
I want to give a shout out to my wife because she definitely have to deal with
all times a day
the hard work that I put in, early in the morning, the first thing out the door, sometimes the last person to come in, and then turn around and up and at it again. And so she's being very patient, and understanding, because we are, as she is as well, continue to want to change and empower people's lives with that creativity as well.
Amen. So we thank God for you. Know that you're going to keep on doing what you do, as I said, in ministry for the community. May God continue to bless you. If ever we can be of service to you here at the Light, know that we're here for you. And we just want to publicly say again, thank you for all that you do in and around the community.